Okay, I just wanted to make this quick video because I saw a video from Asmongold reacting to a video by Darth Marco Transactions. I hope I got the channel name right, but I do want to make a video where I'm reacting to Asmongold, reacting to something until he reacts to one of my videos because he'll run out of videos to react to. And then I'll react to him reacting to me, reacting to him, and it'll be like Ouroboros eating his own tail. But anyways, I just wanted to make this video because I find it very sad, also very interesting that Diablo 4 is performing very poorly, at least on Twitch, as of now. Diablo 3, the third game, has 6.8 thousand viewers, whereas Diablo 4 has 987. This is very low because Diablo 2 has 379 viewers right now. So it's not really indicative of the health of the game completely because not everyone who plays the game watches it on Twitch, but you can kind of get a feel for the general sense of public perception of the game based on how many people are making content for it. I don't know, at least anecdotally speaking, when I observe my friend group, a lot of us, I'm older than I look, by the way, but a lot of us played Diablo growing up. So Diablo 1, 2, and 3. Now, I'm not the biggest fan of loot games, so take what I say with a grain of salt because I'm not really the target audience. The only reason I played was because my friends were playing. So anyways, what I noticed amongst my friend group, even people who are like fans of these type of games, I noticed that this is what usually happens. I found that generally, like the playthrough of the story, most people enjoyed it, the 1 through 50, whatever it is. But then a lot of the more casual players, they kind of quit after that because they had fun. They got what they wanted out of it. And then the people who like the content treadmill, they go up and then they reach around level 80-ish, right? 70 to 80. And then the people who are getting older around my age group and people who play D3, D2 and D1, they kind of just stop playing because it's more of a bother. And I noticed that people who are more new to this kind of experience stay with it a lot longer than people who've already done the grind and find it a little bit more like work, I guess. But one thing I wanted to mention was I don't understand how Blizzard is killing themselves so effectively as a company chasing after money. I don't understand how they don't get it after ruining World of Warcraft and now Overwatch 2 and and now Diablo 4. And it's like you guys have some of the most well-known IPs in the history of gaming. They're all beloved. In fact, you made magic with Overwatch 1. And now if you look at the graphs, Overwatch 2 is actually doing pretty decent in terms of player count on Steam. Because you gotta remember, there are people on consoles playing the game, and then people on BNet and who have migrated to Steam playing on PC. On Steam, it's getting roughly 30,000 at its highest. I think the average is around 18,000 concurrent, which is very healthy for Overwatch 2. The funny thing is, if you look at how much money it's making, though, it is way down the list. In fact, there was a week where Call of the Wild, the Hunter game, the old one, was making more money than Overwatch 2. Very sad, at least on Steam. So I don't know how much money they're pulling in on consoles and on BNet alone, but it can't be that much if you got 30,000 peak for Steam and you're making no money on Steam. So profitability must be way down. I just wanted to make a video covering it because I find it so sad that they focus so much on manipulating the gamer to spend as much time possible in the game by using very, very, I don't know. It just feels very manipulative tactics. A lot of games do it, especially free-to-play games, MMOs, mobile games especially. But man, I really like that Darth microtransaction video because he breaks down why Blizzard made the changes they did. Essentially, they want the player count or player engagement to remain as high as possible. And then if there's a drop off point, identify what is causing the drop offs and then reduce that as much as possible. So essentially, he broke it down where they want to get rid of power leveling because they want you to stay in that grind for as long as possible, and then they reduce the grind from like 80 to 100 because that's where most people just fall off. And I'm just like, why not just make it fun? You know what I mean? Like, I think they got lost in the sauce of numbers and just looking at data. The reason why players are engaged with the game is because it's enjoyable. Like, you don't have to trick them into playing the game. Now, a little bit of a content treadmill and player progression systems help for sure. I mean, I personally don't like them. Ideologically speaking, I don't like it. I think a game should only have everything in it designed to, provide fun for the player. But the reality is, gamers, I don't think like is necessarily the word, but we're hooked on the content treadmill. We like grinding, at least a little bit. Now, we don't like bothersome grinding, but when we see the numbers go up, when we see a bar fill up, when we see like a notification, hey, you leveled up, there's a little bit of dopamine, in the brain. We will like that. We see we're making progress. So it feels like we're working towards something, but that mixed in with, fun mechanic is key, in my opinion. Like a game without any progression system, a lot of people will lose interest because they don't feel that constant dopamine drip, like constant walking on a content treadmill, constant progression, like numbers going up. Anyways, but what I don't get is Baldur's Gate 3 proved this. If you make something fun, people will throw money at it and people will spend time with it. And you know what? If they quit after they had their fun, that's okay because they'll come back when they want to. A lot of people replay single player story only games. I know. Not a lot of people, but I see a lot of people replaying like Resident Evil 4 annually because it's their favorite game. You make a good game. You make something fun. People will come back to it. They don't have to play 24/7, 365. They don't have to do that. Like, they've lost sight. They look at the player and they treat us as some sort of drone who's always going to be hooked to the PC or console and playing the game 24/7 and just throwing money at him. Whereas, we have lives, we have other games to play, we have other things to do aside from gaming. And rewarding our time and money would be the best way to make us come back to your product. So I don't know. Just looking at it, I am a little bit happy. I hate watching Blizzard stuff right now because I want them to do better, but they're not. So I want them to fail miserably, and then they'll do a complete 180 and be like, oh shoot, we have lost everything. Now we gotta make a good product, right? But at the same time, it's very sad because StarCraft, Brood War, Warcraft 3, Frozen Throne, that was my childhood essentially. My teenage years were formed by those two games. Dota 1 on Warcraft 3, I spent so much time on. Man, I spent so much time in Brood War. I played on dial-up. There was a buddy of ours, and he was really good. So what we would do was we would call his house if he was winning, and it would disconnect him from the game. And we, because back then, if you call on a landline and they're on dial-up, it disconnects the internet connection. But yeah, shout out to Phil. But yeah, it's really sad to see. So I don't understand why Blizzard just doesn't get it. Like, if you want to make money, that's fine. Like, I'm not against companies wanting to make money. You need to make money to make better games, so you can keep making games. But it's when making money is the only goal and your main priority that it kind of warps your product into something that's, people don't enjoy. Clearly, if people are playing Diablo 3 over Diablo 4, you've got an issue. So the sad thing is Blizzard has a history of just blaming the player base. They tell us that we don't know what we want, that we're wrong. And there are plenty of videos going over this when people ask for WoW Classic and they're like, you don't want this, and then they made it later because people do want it. Um, I don't know. In my opinion, I wish gamers would stop giving Blizzard money. They're not learning, and they won't learn ever, and they just see you as a source of money. They hit you like a block in Mario until money stops coming out, and I don't think that kind of behavior should be awarded. Now, if you're having fun with the game, that's fine. I'm not saying that you should hate the game or hate the company, but the only thing is I want the best possible product for everyone who enjoys Diablo, and I want the best possible reward for their time. And, things can be better because if you look at what Blizzard used to make, those used to be masterpieces. It was unmatched. The Blizzard quality was unmatched. And now it's just so sad what it has become. But yeah, I don't think I'm ever going to play another Blizzard game, especially after Microsoft acquires them, because Microsoft is also doo-doo. If you look at what they're doing with Windows, every Windows iteration is garbage. It's getting to the point where I'm seriously considering installing a Linux and never coming back. I don't know. I don't know. Anyways, just something I wanted to talk about. You know, as I find it interesting that Diablo 4 is performing so poorly. In fact, they put the game on sale recently, like so soon after launch. That would be unheard of, but yeah. Also, they're probably going to charge for, expansion packs on top of battle passes too. So, just very sad what the game has become. Blizzard, please. I know they're not going to watch this video. I know not a lot of people aren't going to watch this video. No one cares about what I have to say, but please, if you focus on making a fun game and a fun product and actually caring for the players instead of treating them so antagonistically, people will come back. People put up with your nonsense right now. So if you treat them well, you'll have way more players coming back. You'll have way more money in the bank. So I don't understand why you don't do this, because you have talented devs working there. Why not focus on making a good product and providing the maximum amount of value to everyone playing your game? You don't have to treat us like we're mindless zombies and trying to get us hooked on your game and keep us there 24/7, 365. It doesn't make sense. Anyways, that's going to be it. Thank you for listening to this ramble, this rant. Whenever I feel like making a video on a topic, that's what I do. And then I make random video game coverage stuff. If you're wondering why my setup looks different, I'm at me grandmom's. And this microphone is actually pretty okay. It's very hard to use, though. It's very sensitive, so I'm actually going to go back in and clean up the audio a little bit, but it takes a very long time. Okay, thank you for watching. I appreciate it, and I'm getting old, so I lost my train of thought there. Thank you for watching. I apologize for my random content. I don't actually like making content. I just like making whatever I feel like making at the time. So that's why my channel feels so random. But yeah, I will catch you guys next time.